Today, on Be Something Wonderful, it was a bizarre feeling. I just knew it was done. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back. We continue broadcasting here from Victoria Falls, Zimbabwe. Today is our second video. Earlier this morning, in the middle of the night, we released a new video on the membership channel. Powerful video. I'll leave a link for those of you that are interested in seeing that. That had to do with a specific person, manifestation. Today I want to talk to you about a new client. And he was excited to talk to me because he really resonated with a few videos, and I think both of those videos had to do with our subscriber Mike, who's also a client. And Michael, if you remember, is the one that manifested that those reservations in the face of no, they're sold out, they're sold out, they're sold out. In the face of all that, still managed to manifest those reservations, right? Create that reality. And then another one that had to do with a real estate deal, a building. So this is very similar because this client said he went through something. He had that same bizarre feeling before landing what he says was one of the biggest deals, commission deals of his life. That actually, if he were to get this deal, and he did, right, it would be all he would have to do all year if he didn't want to do anything else. Well, he told me the story. Before landing that deal, there were two other deals that he didn't get, and that were equally big, not as big as this one, but pretty big. And he got tangled up in the 3D conditions. In doubt, he got tangled up with what he thought was someone competing against him, someone that he started creating a scenario where this person was stealing his deals, stealing his leads, making it difficult for him to close the deals. And he felt like he lost those deals to this person. Well, he changed all that. Right? He's been watching the videos. He's been really aligning with his assumption. And this is what he said. This is kind of new, and I like this. He goes, "I am has no competition." Those were his words. I love it. I am has no competition. So he's been aligning with his assumption that there is no competition, that that deal is his. Now, with this third deal, same conditions, very similar. And even conditions showing him that he didn't get it, that he lost it. But he stood in the knowing. Stopped trying to control conditions. He stopped judging the conditions. He stopped trying to influence anybody and anything and stood in his assumption. And the deal was his. He said it felt miraculous. And he said, I really got that feeling he said two clients, I think I did two videos where some clients were talking about they felt strange right before something happened. He had that same strange feeling in the midst of the conditions showing him something very contrary. And then he landed the deal. It was his. So I want to cover this today because this is big. Here's the thing. Stop trying to control and directly influence conditions. I've talked about this in many different ways, but not the way we're going to talk about it today with this. And again, this client wanted to tell me this story, but his session was about applying what he learned, right? But remember, you don't even have to apply it. You already know it. You're the operant power. It's all within you to a specific person situation. So I'll keep you updated on that as that unfolds. We unpack that quite a bit. It's the same thing, right? And instead, control your assumptions. This is what he did brilliantly, right? He's not competing with anyone. He is I am. He knew that deal was already done, and he knew that if he gets that deal, no one else gets deprived, right? Everyone has infinite possibilities, infinite realities, right? Everyone creates their own reality. He wasn't depriving anybody, and he was never deprived. This was big. His realization that he wasn't deprived of those two deals, right? That those weren't his because those weren't within him, right? He didn't occupy them. He didn't claim them. He didn't stand there and say, I am, in spite of the conditions. But this he did. right? Remember, you have your temporary conditions that are not reality. The inner thoughts and feelings and the outer people, events, and circumstances. I am has no competition. I am transcends these thoughts and feelings. You just leave them there. As doubt came up, even fear, right after losing a third deal that he could possibly lose, then he'd have to work really hard all year, right, to make up for that. But he didn't. He stood in those conditions, just like that other subscriber, Mike, that has commented on the channel. Each assumption has its corresponding world. Neville got it. I love this. This is what some of the videos that we pointed out with Bashar and also reality transurfing, that each assumption, each belief, each mix of your inner state has its own world, corresponding world. You, by your conscious assumptions. Neville's clear here, by your conscious assumptions. We're not talking about invisible assumptions or things hiding out. We're talking about you consciously declaring what you want, standing in that knowing that that is yours, right? You, by your conscious assumptions, determine the nature of the world in which you live. Neville got it. Very, very powerful here. What you consciously believe and assume is your total, entire life experience right now. And now, and now, and now. As all the spiritual teachers say, right? It's all in the now, right? Skip the middle, right? The middle only gets messy when you get tangled up in it. It's beautiful. It's divine. God's got you covered. I am the first and last, the beginning and the end, the Alpha and the Omega. I'm all of that. Go directly to your source by the way of your assumptions. You got a direct line to your source, right? And there's no competition. I am has no competition, right? So forget the middle. And the only question is, what do you want? That's always the only question. What do you want? In other words, whom are you seeking? Remember when Jesus, when they went looking for Jesus to capture him, right? The night before he would be crucified, right? They were looking for him, and Jesus asked these officials and soldiers and so forth, whom are you seeking? Well, that's the question your I am's asking you. What do you want? Who are you seeking? Right? Who are you? That's what they're asking. And then they answered him, Jesus of Nazareth. Jesus said to them, I am he. Now, he was not in the original Greek version. So this is only, I think, one instance where they use he. They use it a few times. But really, it's just I am. Jesus said to them, I am. I am he, or I am that. But I am. Right? I am. So he said that to what? What are you saying I am to? To the contrary thoughts and conditions. This is what my client did. Not in the first two deals. He didn't stand in that I am. He didn't. He acquiesced, right? But they answered him, Jesus of Nazareth. So what are you looking for? You're looking for that I am. You're looking for that assumption to stand in that manifestation, to stand that claim. So you say to those contrary conditions, I am. Right? It's not about trying to change or control reality. It's about affirming and taking a stand in your assumption and knowing, I am. Right? And this is what also they said to him. Now when he said to them, I am he, they drew back and fell to the ground. The officials and soldiers fell to the ground when Jesus told them who he was. Whom are you seeking? And they answered him, Jesus of Nazareth. And he said, I am he. I am that. And as you say that, and then it's said in Scripture, when he said that to them, I am he, they drew back and fell to the ground. Those conditions dissolve. Right? That's how you deny them. That's how you ignore them, by standing in your assumption and letting them fall to the ground, letting them dissolve, letting them fall aside. Right? This is big. Notice that Jesus followed the script here. Right? Remember, Jesus wasn't hiding from the soldiers or the officials. He didn't say, no, I'm not him. I'm not Jesus of Nazareth. Right? He said, I'm him. I am he. Right out plain and open. You're declaring you're not shying away from conditions. You're saying, I am that. I got that deal. That's the biggest deal. That deal's mine. I am he. Right? And then those conditions fall to the ground. Notice Jesus followed the script. He didn't resist the authorities or his capture. He knew that these conditions had no power unless it was given from above. That's what you're called on to do, right? Just declare your I am in the face of those conditions. Don't resist the script. Don't run from it. Don't deny it. Don't try to control or change the conditions, right? To try to make something happen. They will fall to the ground. They will fall aside. They will draw back, right? As you stand in that 3D yields to your assumptions. 3D yields to your I am. So powerful here today, right? So persist in your assumption in the midst of all conditions. Then he asked them again. Now, Jesus again asked them again. Not just once, but again, showing that you're persisting in your I am, persisting in that declaration, in your claim of who you are. Jesus then asked them again, whom are you seeking? He didn't need to ask them again, right? But this is the point. This is a metaphysical story. Asking him again, in other words, what do you want? What's your assumption? What's your desired end? That's what Jesus is asking. Whom are you seeking? What do you want? What's your assumption? What's your desired end? That's your I am asking you. And then, of course, they answered, Jesus of Nazareth. And then what did Jesus say? I have told you that I am he. I already told you I am. You're standing in that state of absolute conviction again, saying, I am that. It is mine. I don't care what those conditions are saying to me. Right? Wow, that's powerful. And then what does Jesus say? Therefore, if you seek me, let these go their way. In other words, let those unwanted realities, those unwanted conditions, right? Those unwanted thoughts and feelings, let them go. Let the old scripts go. Let the old assumptions go. Let the old conditions go. Let the old versions of you go. That's what Paul meant when he said, I die daily. You die daily to your old reality. You die daily to the unwanted conditions. You die daily to those things that seem so solid, right? You die daily to the old script. You follow it. You don't resist it, but you die to it. Like Jesus did. Remember, then he was crucified. He died to that old script, right? To dissolve that, and then rose in consciousness, resurrected in that new ideal, in that new reality. That's what you're called on to do. I am is your desired ideal, your assumption. Therefore, if you seek me, if you seek I am that. Let these go their way. Let everything else go. As Neville Goddard say, lay aside all other processes. Let go of all other beliefs than the one that I am that you are already that desired ideal, that you are already that whom you want to be. That's big. It was a bizarre feeling. I just knew it was done. Again, this subscriber, incredible, had that bizarre feeling. Called it bizarre feeling. New. What is that bizarre feeling? It's a conviction. It's a deep inner knowing. It's your inner authority. It's that higher you talking to you saying it's done. You don't have to give up anything. You don't have to acquiesce to anything. You don't have to fold in front of 3D conditions. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for liking and sharing and commenting on the videos. You can find us on Facebook, the Be Something Wonderful Ambassadors, at facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful. We're also on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin, or you could just go to our website anytime at tomkearin.com or besomethingwonderful.com. Also, we have our membership channel. Just dropped a big video this morning. I will leave a link below on the membership channel. More content coming there as well as a live stream will be planned over the next few weeks. More on the way. Creators, with great love, with great light, and infinite gratitude, this is Tom with Be Something Wonderful coming to you from Victoria Falls in Zimbabwe. We'll see you soon.